Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. So yesterday we discussed the two types of na'at. It can either show a meaning in its matbu' or the muta'alliq of the matbu'. Now each one of these has slightly different grammatical rules. So wal-qism al-awwal. The qism al-awwal means an-na'at al-haqiqi, where the na'at shows a meaning in its matbu', which is majority of the times. So this will, al-qism al-awwal, mubtada, will follow its matbu' in 10 things. Not in 10 things, but a total of 10 things have to be analyzed, and from there 4 things. Fil i'rab, that's 3. Meaning, so in one of 3, that na'at will follow its matbu'. Wa ta'rif wa tankir, one of these 2. والإفراد والتثنية والجمع, one of these 3. والتذكير والتأنيث, in one of these. So altogether the 4, so 10 things, but 1 from each. So in 4 things they will match, and altogether the things that have to be analyzed are 10 things. Okay, for example, جاءني رجل عالم. So now they match in, I'm not going to analyze it, it's very basic stuff. So رجل عالم, they match in 4 aspects. ورجلان عالمان, they match in 4 aspects. رجال عالمون, زيد العالم, and وامرأة عالمة. Different examples where they match. This is very basic stuff. No need for me to go into detail of each one of these. Okay? Yes? Right. Now this is something that we need to have a look at carefully. This is something maybe new. والقسم الثاني is what? النعت السببي. What is na'at sababi? Where the na'at is not giving information regarding the matbu'. Instead, it is giving information regarding the muta'alliq of the matbu'. So in here, they will only have to agree in 2 aspects, which total 5 things. In i'rab, ta'rif, and tankir. Now let's explain this using a Quranic verse, and inshallah this will make more sense. So now what do we have here? We have here Rabbana akhrijna. So the verse is akhrijna, O Allah, remove us, save us. Akhrijna, O Allah, save us, remove us. Min hadhihi al-qaryati dhalimi ahluha, from this qarya whose people are oppressive. So what do we have here now? Hadhihi al-qarya. So now qarya, you have here al-qarya. Correct? Now when you have al-qarya, this is being described. Which kind of qarya? A qarya which is dhalim. But this na'at is not describing the qarya. This na'at is describing the muta'alliq of the qarya, something linked to the qarya. Ay ahlul qarya. So it's called na'at sababi. Okay? So everybody understand what's happening here? Not in terms of the grammar, but in terms of the meaning. So this is now na'at sababi. The dhalim is not describing the qarya, rather it's describing something linked to the qarya. So in this example, what will happen? This na'at needs to agree in only 2 aspects. I'rab and ta'rif and tankir. So qarya is majroor. So al-dhalim will also be majroor. Correct? What this is majroor, so that will also be majroor. Correct? And the second aspect is ta'rif and tankir. This is ma'rifah, and this is also going to be ma'rifah. Correct? Ma'rifah. Understood? This is the rule. Why does this happen? Because when you have na'at sababi, what's happening is that, let me draw it up here, the al-dhalim ahluha. So what is happening really is that this is becoming an ismul fa'il, and this becomes the fa'il of the ismul fa'il. As a result, this is like a fa'il. This will have this gender, whether this is mudhakkar or mu'annath, or mufrad, muthanna, or jama' doesn't depend on the word before it, rather it depends on the word after it. It's as if we're saying here, هذه القرية الذي يظلم أهلها. So because this as though this is like a fa'il, it has the ruling of a fa'il. So this, the agreement will be with this. So therefore, it doesn't have to match the word before it. It doesn't match the word before it. It matches the word after it. So this tadhkir ta'nith depends on the word after it. You understand? Are you following me? Does everybody understand that? Ism al-jama'. No, you can't have al-zalimuna ahluha. Okay, let me explain one thing to you here. You can't have في غير القرآن, you can't have الظالمون أهلها. Why? Because الظالمون واو is a dhamir. Can you have a dhamir and a zahir together? No, you can't. You can't have, according to the, you can't have darabu ar-rijal. So when you have an ismul fa'il, this has a zamir huwa well, it doesn't have it here. But in dhalimun ahluha, then you end up with a dhamir as a fa'il and a fa'il. Same as darabu ar-rijal. So you can't have a dhalimun ahluha. Do you understand? We don't follow Al-Qalam al-Baraghith. That's just for information purposes. Okay? I don't know. I don't want to get into that. Complicate me. The question is, if you use Al-Qalam al-Baraghith lugha, can you do it? We follow in the Quranic lugha, Ahlul Hijaz. They don't do that. But what you could do, and it does come in the Quran, you have here, khush'an. So khush'an, what's khush'an the plural of? Khashi'. Yeah, so khusha' is the plural of khush'an abasaruhum. You can use jam' mukassar, because jam'ul mukassar doesn't have a pronoun, doesn't have a dhamir built in. So you can have it here. You can have it jam' mukassar. You can have singular, mukhtalifan alwanuha. Correct. Yes. So you can do three ways. When you have an ismul fa'il, followed by its fa'il, you can have it singular, khashi'atan, with ta'nith, khashi'atan absaruhum. So a few dead spots there. Khashi'atan absaruhum. So here you have singular with ta'nith. You can have singular with tadhkir, mukhtalifan alwanuha. And you can also have jam' mukassar. You can't have jam' salim. Because you have jam' salim, you end up with the waw dhamir and the fa'il. That's not permissible. And khush'an, jam' mukassar doesn't have a pronoun inside. So therefore, you're allowed to jam' mukassar. Okay? So that's why you allow these three. But back to the basics. So summary again is, al-zalim ahluha, if you have a na'at where it has its own fa'il, then all you have to look at is i'rab, ta'rif, and tankir. And then the gender and number will depend on the word after it. So this zalim is cut between two, is tied between two places. It matches there and there. It matches here in i'rab and ta'rif. And it matches, it depends on here, it depends on the tadhkir and adad, meaning number. So the zalim is split how you have agreement. Is that clear? Should we go ahead? Okay, right. Now, he's mentioning here, normally he don't mention the fawaid and the ma'ani of words in ilm al-Nahw, but he's mentioning here that the fa'idah of na'at is what? That if they're both nakira. So the fa'idah, the benefit of a na'at is to specify the man'ud in kana nakiratain. If they are both nakira. So rajulun alimun, rajulun is any man in the world. By saying rajulun alimun, you specified it and limited it. So if they're both nakira, it becomes what? Takhsis. And if it's already ma'rifah, then you're not specifying it because it's already specific. Zayd is already specific. But what you're doing is giving more clarity. So if the man'ut and na'at are already ma'rifah, so it doesn't do takhsis, because it's already takhsis. When you say Zayd, we know who we're talking about. But this makes it more clear. Ja'ani Zaydun al-Fadil. So the purpose of the na'at, number one, if it's nakira, both are nakira, it will be takhsis. And if they're both ma'rifah, it will be tawdih. Okay? Yes? Understood that concept? Why not? How would you read it together when you join in Zaydun al-Fadil? It's not written like this, it's pronounced like this. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's written with dhamma, but it's pronounced like this. Yeah, correct. Okay. Okay. Now what he's saying here, another point, is that sometimes he's saying, for example, Allah, when you have the snat of Allah, you can't do takhsis of Allah. You can't do tawdih, because it's already clear. So we're saying here sometimes, this is more to do with balagha. The only purpose of the nat is madah, to mujarrad, only, purely, simply. So sometimes the purpose of the nat is simply praising. For example, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You're not doing takhsis, you're not doing tawdih. You're simply saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You're praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just as you can have dham. A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. So when you say shaitan, everybody knows what it refers to. This is just purely dham and criticism. Correct? And the last point he's mentioning here, sometimes the meaning is already understood from the word. There's no need to add this, but it's for emphasis. For example, nafhatun wahida. Nafhatun wahida. So nafha on its own means one. So there's no need to add wahida to get the meaning of nafha. But when you add the wahida, it creates emphasis. Another example of this would be, it comes in the Quran, amwatun ghayru ahya. So if you make ghayr ahya, the nat of amwat. So amwat already means ghayr ahya. So the faida of that is creating emphasis. So sometimes you get a nat, which is not for takhsis, no tawdih, no thana, no dham. It is just there for ta'keed. Okay? Any question before you go ahead? Okay. وَاعْلَمْ أَنَّ النَّكِرَةَ تُوصَفُ بِالْجُمْلَةِ الْخَبَرِيَّةِ. What we always say, a nakira followed by a sentence becomes a nat. So a nakira word can be tusaf, be described using a jumla khabariya, meaning a jumla khabariya can become the nat of a nakira word. For example, marartu bi rajulin abuhu alim. Rajul is a nakira word. This is a jumla khabariya, provided it has a dhamir which refers back to it. You can now make this the was or not, same thing. Was or the not. Correct? As jumla ismiya example, أو قام أبوه, same thing. It's a jumla and it's khabariya, therefore you can make it a not. It's a jumla khabariya fa'liya and this is jumla khabariya ismiya. He gave two examples so you can see that both can become the not. Yes? And the last point he mentions here is وَالْمُضْمَرُ لَا يُوصَفْ وَلَا يُوصَفُ بِهِ. A dhamir la yusaf wasafa yasifu, to be described. So a dhamir cannot be described, meaning a dhamir cannot be a man'ud, or it can never be a mawsuf. A dhamir cannot be a mawsuf. You cannot, for example, you have huwal alim. You can't say man'ud na. It always has to mubtada khabar. A dhamir can never be a mawsuf or a man'ud, same word. Wala yusafu bihi, it can never be a not or a sifa. You can never make that into a sifa. huwa can never be used as a man'ut, or it can never be used as a na'at. Understood? Any questions? No? Okay. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu